everyone, this is Sandhya. I'm back with another chapter. Today we will continue with geography of class 10 and the chapter which we will discuss is water resources. So, in this chapter we will learn to know about water resources. The chapter begins with the availability of fresh water on the earth and how the situations of scarcity of water generates. This chapter discuss the pros and cons of constructing dams on river. In the end, the chapter talks about rainwater harvesting as a means to conserve water. This video lecture cover all the important topics which are discussed in this chapter. Dear children, go through this video again and again and try to understand the concept. Let us move on to the topic. In the 1st century BC, Allahabad had sophisticated water harvesting system channeling the flood water of the river Ganga. Children, during the time of Chandragupta Maurya, dams lacked an irrigation system were extensively built as we discussed in history. Evidences of sophisticated irrigation works have also been found in Kalinga and Nagarjunakonda, Bina and Kolhapur. In 11th century, Bhopal Lake, one of the largest artificial lakes of its time, was built. When it came to 14th century, the tanks of Hochka and Delhi was constructed by Iltutmish was supplying water for Srifort area. Dear children, let us move on to the today's topic. Today's our topic, water resources. We already know that 3/4 of the earth's surface is covered with water, but only a small proportion of its accounts for fresh water that can be used. This fresh water is mainly obtained from surface runoff and groundwater that is continually being renewed and recharged through the hydrological cycle. All water moves within the hydrological cycle, ensuring that water is a renewable resource. Fresh water. 96.5% of the total volume of world's water is estimated to exist as oceans and only 2.5% exist as fresh water. Dear children, 96.5% of the total volume of world's water is estimated to exist as oceans and only 2.5% exist as fresh water. Dear children, 70% of the fresh water occurred as ice sheets and glaciers in Antarctica, Greenland and the mountainous region of the world. Less than 30% is stored as groundwater in the world's aquifers. Fresh water is mainly obtained from surface runoff and groundwater. Children, this is continuously being renewed and recharged through the hydrological cycle. All the water moves within the hydrological cycle, making water a renewable resource, as we discussed in previous class. The freshwater sources, what are the freshwater sources? Precipitation from rainfall and surface water in river, lakes, etc. Then groundwater stored in underground aquifers which gets recharged by rainfall. Children, let us discuss about water scarcity and needs for water conservation. Water scarcity, other reasons which lead to the scarcity of water. Dear children, the availability of water resources varies over space and time. Water scarcity is caused by over exploitation, excessive use and unequal access to water among different social groups. Here they give a water scarcity means shortage of water. It is usually associated with regions having low rainfall or drought prone areas. Water resources are being overexploited to expand irrigated area for dry season agriculture. Children, in some areas, water is sufficiently available to meet the needs of the people, but those areas still suffer from water scarcity due to bad quality of water. Children, the need of the earth is to conserve and manage our water resources, to safeguard ourselves from health hazards, to ensure food security, constitution of our livelihoods and productive activities. To prevent degradation of our natural ecosystem, water scarcity means shortage of water. It is usually associated with regions having low rainfall of drought prone areas, as we discussed. But many other reasons which lead to scarcity of water, large growing population. In the agriculture sector, water resources are being overexploited to expand irrigation areas and dry seasons. Agriculture, more water required for irrigation purpose to facilitate higher food production. For doing multiple cropping and of seeds, there is greater demand for water with growing urbanization and industrialization. And unequal access to water among different social groups, the quality of water is degenerating and getting populated by domestic and industrial waste, chemical fertilizers and pesticides used in agriculture. And another one, excessive use of water by industries which also requires water to generate hydroelectric power to run them, and over exploitation of water in the urban areas. The most important, we speak of water shortage, we immediately associated it with regions having low rainfall or those that drought prone. The availability of water resources varies over space and time, mainly due to the variations in seasonal and annual precipitation. Children, but water scarcity is most cases is caused by over exploitation, excessive use and unequal access to water among different social groups. Water scarcity may be an outcome to large and growing population and consequent demands for water and unequal access to it. Dear children, a large population means more water not only for domestic use but also produce more food. Hence, to facilitate higher food grain production, water resources are being overexploited to expand irrigated areas and dry seasons agriculture. Then, what are the adverse effects of overexploitation of groundwater? Let us discuss this now. Adverse effects of overexploitation of groundwater. Pumping out more water from under the ground may lead to falling groundwater levels. Dear children, pumping out more water from under the ground may lead to falling groundwater levels. It is one of the causes. It will adversely affect water availability, and this turn will affect our agriculture and food security of the people. Dear children, improvement of water resources may adversely affect the ecological cycle. Main causes of water pollution: domestic waste, industrial waste and chemical effluents any human activities. Dear children, main causes of water pollution: domestic waste, especially urban spheres. Industrial waste are disposed of in the water without proper treatment. Then what? Chemical effluents from industries and from agriculture sector and may human activities examples. And religious rituals and immersing of ideals, etc. like Ganesh Chaturthi, etc. In the water also pollute water. Then what are the measures of water conservation? Let us discuss those things now. Measures for water conservation. Do not overdraw the groundwater. Recharge it by techniques like rainwater harvesting, tapping rainwater in reservoirs, and watershed development programs, etc. Dear children, do not overdraw the groundwater. Recharge it by techniques like rainwater harvesting, tapping rainwater in reservoirs, and watershed development programs, etc. Another important thing, avoid wastage of water at all levels and do not pollute the water. Adopting water conserving techniques of irrigation, for example, like a drip irrigation and sprinkles, etc., especially in dry areas. Dear children, a dam is a barrier across flowing water that obstruct, direct or redirect the flow. Creating a reservoir, lake or impoundment, a dam is the reservoir and not the whole structure. Let us discuss about these things now. Multi-purpose river valley project, the temples of modern India. Dear children, in ancient times, we used it to conserve water by constructing sophisticated hydraulic structures like dams built of stone and rubbles, reservoirs or lakes, embankments and canals of irrigation. We have continued this tradition in the modern India by building dams in most of our basins. Dear children, a dam is a barrier across flowing water. Observe the given picture so that you may understand this. Dam is a barrier across flowing water that obstructs, direct or retards the flow, often creating a reservoir, lake or impoundment. Dam refers to the reservoir rather than the structure. Okay, then what about the uses of dam? To impound rivers and rainwater that can be used later to irrigate aggregate fields, and for electricity generation also. And not only that, water supply for domestic and industrial uses, and flood control and recreation, inland navigation and fish breeding. Multi-purpose river valleys projects, one of the temples of modern India. Jawaharlal Nehru proclaimed that multi-purpose projects are the temples of modern India because they were thought of as the vehicle that would lead the nation to development and progress. He believed that these projects, with their integrated water resource management approach, would integrate a development of agriculture and the village economy with rapid industrialization and growth of the urban economy. Then here also advantages and some disadvantages. Let us discuss about advantages about this project. Advantages: they bring water to those areas which suffer from water scarcity and also provide water for irrigation. What are the disadvantages? Damming of river affects their natural flow, causing poor sediment flow, exclusive sedimentation at the bottom of the reservoirs. Dear children, when it comes to the advantages, they bring water to those areas which suffer from water scarcity and also provide water for irrigation. And another one, these projects generate electricity for industries and our homes. These help in controlling floods, and projects can be used for recreation inland and navigation and fish breeding. Whether it comes to the disadvantages, damming of river affects their natural flow, causing poor sedimentation flow, and excessive sedimentation at the bottom of the river, and lack of sediment results in rockier stream bed and poorer habitat for the river aquatic life. The reservoirs submerge the existing vegetation and soil, leading to its decomposition over time. They affect the fertility levels of the soil, causes large scale displacement of local communities. Children, most of the objections of the projects crossed due to their failures to achieve the purpose for which they were built. Most of the dams were constructed to control floods, but these dams have triggered floods. Dams have also caused excessive soil erosion, and excessive use of water has resulted in earthquakes, caused water-borne diseases and pests and pollutions. Let us have a look at the Indian major rivers and dams. You may collect information regarding to this through the net or go through your textbooks. Then how we can conserve this and what are the rainwater harvesting? Let us discuss this now. Traditional rainwater harvesting methods practiced in different parts of the country. In mountain areas, the diversion channels were built for agriculture. Rooftop rainwater harvesting was commonly practiced to store drinking water, especially in Rajasthan. Dear children, rainwater harvesting is a simple method by which rainfall is collected for future usage. The collected rainwater may be stored, utilized in different ways or directly used for recharge purposes. And different methods have been adopted in different areas for rainwater harvesting. In hilly areas and mountain regions, people built diversion channels like the kuls of the western Himalayas for agriculture. Then whether it comes to the rooftop rainwater harvesting, it is commonly practiced to store drinking water, particularly in Rajasthan. In the flood plains of Bengal, people developed ancient channels to irrigate their fields. In arid and semi-arid regions, agricultural fields were converted into rain-fed storage structures that allowed the water to stand and moist in the soil, such as canyons in Jaisalmer and Jodh in other parts of Rajasthan. And another thing, the tanks are part of the well-developed rooftop rainwater harvesting system and or built inside the main house or the countryside. This is mainly practiced in Rajasthan, particularly in Bikaner and Burma, are areas for saving the rainwater. Many houses constructed underground rooms adjoining the tanka to beat the summer heat, as it would keep the room cool. Tamil Nadu is the first state in India which has made rooftop rainwater harvesting structure compulsorily to all the houses across the state. There are legal provisions to punish the defaulters. Dear children, let us discuss about Narmada Bachao Andolan and what is this. Narmada Bachao Andolan or Save Narmada movement is an NGO that mobilized tribal people, farmers and environmentalists and human rights activists against the Sardar Sarovar Dam being built across the Narmada River in Gujarat. Dear children, Narmada Bachao Andolan or Save Narmada movement is an NGO that mobilizes tribal people, farmers, environmentalists and human rights activists against the Sardar Sarovar Dam being built across the Narmada River in Gujarat. The movement originally focused on environmental issues related to submerging the trees under the dam water. And recently, its aim has been to enable the displaced poor people to get full rehabilitation facilities from the government. Dear children, last but not least, The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, even if you don't see yourself as a success right now, if you are committed to learning, success is just a matter of time. Dear children, we know that due to COVID pandemic, the whole world is struggling. So I started video lectures. It is easy to connect with you all, and this will help us to cover the syllabus and to maintain the flow of study. You must take advantage of this opportunity. Learning will continue even during this crisis. Stay tuned for more video lectures on social science. Keep learning. Stay safe. Have a nice day. Thank you.